2, 1. It looks like it's starting. Maybe. Alright. So it looks like the YouTube stream has started. What's going on, guys? Sky from Techlifetoday and Gio from Techlifetoday, guys. This is our 11th week. It's pretty awesome, guys. Who would have thought that you would have wanted us to continue doing this 11 weeks later? That's pretty crazy. But here we are. So this week on the Techlifetoday weekly podcast, we're going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy S7, the iPhone 6s pre-orders, Samsung Pay, the Apple Watch, and so much more. So we're going to get right into it in a second. We're just going to get ready for the stream real quick. We're trying to get ready to make sure everything's good. But again, be sure to head over to techlifetodayco.com for more tech news just like this. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at techlifetodayco, as well as on Instagram at techlifetodayco, and our brand new Facebook page. We had a Facebook page before, but that didn't work out too well, so we decided to get rid of that and start fresh. So we have a new Facebook page, Techlifetoday.co. Again, I think it's going to be facebook.com/techlifetoday.co. Remember that, guys. Let me just make sure this is working. So we're going to get right to it. Alright, I'm just getting ready for the YouTube stream. I'm just trying to make sure everything's going good for the stream. It looks like it's going fine. I'm just trying to make sure. Alright, it looks good. So, we are going to get started. We're going to start the live stream. So, what do you want to talk about first, Gio?
Let's talk about Apple Watch 2.
Alright, so let's talk about the Apple Watch 2. So, over the past few weeks, there's been rumors of the Apple Watch 2 ever since the Rose Gold Apple Watch came. I've seen it in hand. It looks pretty awesome. I'm considering to get that, but I don't really know. That kind of is like pink. I'll be honest with you guys. But with the new Apple Watch, it looks like it's going to bring a FaceTime camera. It'll be like 1.2 megapixels, which I think would be pretty cool. Although, I don't know how many people would actually use that. It's still 8 gigs storage. It's going to be lighter and thinner. It'll have a slightly different design, and will come in more options. What do you think of that? It'll also have a faster processor. What do you think of that, Gio?
I didn't want it. I now become its own at the time. Samsung makes this really well.
Gio, are you anymore? Alright, thanks, Gio. It says the it's not responding. That's the issue I'm experiencing now. And the computer lagged out completely. So with that being said, it might wind up being, to the viewers right now, what we might wind up doing actually is just somehow make sure that the Periscope stream goes well, and then save it to my phone, and then we can try uploading it somehow. That'd be the absolute worst thing to happen, but
I don't even see it up. It's not on the page.
yeah, I don't see it anymore. The whole computer lagged out.
Yep.
Let me see.
Are we still Periscope though?
Sorry?
Are we still clear for Periscope?
Yeah, we're still clear for Periscope.
Alright.
Oh wait, we are still on YouTube.
Okay.
It looks like. I'm trying. It looks like we're still in somehow, even though it's completely frozen. So, with that being said, guys. Oh wait, it finally loaded. But somehow this loaded actually. All right, so it looks like we're in the stream. It looks like we're good. Sorry about this, guys. We might experience some issues over the line. I apologize about this. We're gonna have to figure out the issue. It probably has something to do with my computer. But what were you saying about the Apple Watch again, Gio, before we had the issues?
I was talking about if Apple decides to make a watch part 2, that it needs to be able to work without the phone being within proximity. Like, say for instance, my Pebble. I can use my Pebble without my phone. Like, I can still use it to do calculations and have the apps and everything on. But a good thing I would wish Pebble had in both Pebble and Pebble Time is the ability to call from my watch. If Apple adds that feature, whether it be FaceTime audio, FaceTime within itself, because it would be actually really, really cool if I could FaceTime from my wrist. That'd be a really sweet feature. But in all, to make the watch compatible on its own, so I'm able to make calls, make text messages from the watch.
Kind of like what the Gear S2 is doing with the 3G model, or the LG Watch Urbane for the 3G?
Yeah, like that.
Now, what do you think would be the killer feature for a smartwatch for it to like become very popular? Because obviously, as you and I both know, the Apple Watch is at this time the most popular smartwatch around. What do you think smartwatch companies? Because Apple's only sold about 3 million Apple Watches compared to the 13 or 14 million iPhones that they sold on launch day for the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But what do you think has to be the killer feature? What would you want? Or what would you need in a smartwatch for you to go spend your money on it? What's that killer feature?
The ability, the killer feature would have to be it be heavy to the point where it's doable, but light at the same time where I'm able to use it without my phone. That'd be the killer feature. If I put the watch on my wrist and it works when my phone's connected and it works when my phone isn't connected, that would be the feature. Like, I can have my phone on my wrist. That and an awesome price tag would be the killer feature.
Now, but other watches like the Gear S2 already have that, so and that hasn't sold very well. They don't actually. I know we're going a little off topic, guys, but the Gear S2 only sold 1,000 units so far. So that's including all the other models. What do you think has to happen? Because it unfortunately doesn't look like, even after it has its own standalone compatibility, it still doesn't look to be very successful.
Well, if I think about it, give me 1 second, I gotta think. Killer features. Killer feature.
I mean, really speaking, I like smartwatches in general, and got to those that were wondering, thanks to you guys, and it looks like we might wind up actually getting the Apple Watch, like with the money that we're making on YouTube. It looks like by December or by 2016, we should be able to get an Apple Watch in our office.
That'd be lit, but also some killer features that I think the perfect smartwatch would have, in my opinion. I'm gonna give both the boys' perspective and a girl's perspective.
All right.
If that makes sense. So for girls, most girls enjoy smaller watches. So it would have to be a smaller watch that doesn't make the wrist feel extremely heavy, but at the same time looks fashionable, and she could use the watch within itself. That's a really, people just haven't delivered that feature properly. Like, I don't want the feature to work, but then it's like a gimmick so it works off and on. I just want to be able to go to the store and say, hey, I'm going to come here, I'm going to buy an Apple Watch. Okay, you got an Apple Watch. Then they go to the store and they fully get the iPhone working off the Apple Watch. Like how Apple made the new iPad Pro. You don't need it, but when you get it, you know you want it. It just works for what you do.
Mm-hmm.
The smartwatch is supposed to be an accessory to your phone. So you can keep it as an accessory, but make the accessory work so well to the point where people want both this and the watch, so that they feel as though the phone won't be complete until you get the watch. They haven't done that yet. They need to make it to the point where the watch is needed for the phone and the phone is needed for the watch. That's when smartwatches will take off.
Now,
they're not a necessity.
Do you think it's gonna wind up being a company like Apple that's gonna make it? Like, let's say everything that you said happened in the next Apple Watch or the Apple Watch 2, whatever they're gonna be calling it. Do you think that's gonna be more successful than, let's say, HTC creates their own smartwatches with this?
Repeat the question.
So let's say that Apple did everything that you wanted. All right, so they did all the killer features. They did all its standalone compatibility, everything that you would want in the smartwatch. Do you think let's say it was that versus, let's say, a Samsung watch. Let's say Samsung came out the Gear S3, for example, or something like that. Who do you think would be more popular if it had the same exact features? Do you think Apple would wind up being the company that would wind up doing this, or Samsung, or another company, or or OEM?
That's a difficult question to answer.
See, the problem that lies in this is that other companies are doing this with different products. Like the Apple Watch has the fashionability to a certain extent look with, or the customizability with the watches, with the various price points. It has a lot of design. It does more than all the other smartwatches, except not including the Gear S2. But think of it, the Gear S2 does, no joke, the exact same thing as the iPhone, right? So the Apple Watch works on iOS only, and the Gear S2 works on all Android devices. Why is it? Because they're the same exact features, and this is what gets me a little aggravated about Apple's popularity. Why is it that so far Apple's sold over 2 to 3 million Apple Watches in the various combinations or customizations, but the Gear S2 has only sold 1,000. Even though they do the same exact thing, and I personally do think that the Gear S2 looks better when you go up to like the $400 mark.
I think, honestly, if Apple were to open up Apple Watch's OEM to developers to be used all over the place, then in that case, it would be amazing. Like if you were able to use the Apple Watch for everything, let's think about this for a second. If Apple Watch were open up to all OEMs, could be used on Windows, Android, Apple Watch would sell it would be killing the market. Because everybody wants an Apple Watch, but not everybody has an iPhone. So you have all these Android products, and you let people go do what they gotta do, they get the watch, and Apple's just selling them by the millions and the millions and the millions. That would be their big great.
Yeah. And I can't disagree. Do you think that Apple's popularity has a big thing to do with the Apple? Like, let's say the Apple Watch was the same exact product, but made by Samsung. Do you think that would have just as much popularity as the Apple Watch does now? Even though it would be from a different OEM.
What was that?
So let's say, you know what the Apple Watch looks like, you know its features. Let's say like a company like Samsung, another OEM, created the same exact smartwatch, same exact look, everything. They called it like the Samsung Watch, for example. Do you think that would have just as much popularity, even more popularity, than the Apple Watch does at this given juncture?
It would be so awesome if that happened.
See, I can't disagree. I think that'd be fantastic. I think, personally, a big part of the reason why Apple sold so many watches is, frankly, because it's Apple. I mean...
there's that, too. Because Apple just has that background that if every OEM had the same power as Apple did, then everyone would be rich. Apple has those customers that are just never going to leave. Like if you go back in time, all the grandmas and grandpas, they don't have, what's it called, Samsungs and stuff like that. No, they have iPhone.
Yep.
All of them do. All the grandpas, because they see Apple as such a huge frontier compared to everyone else. Everyone else just is, in a word, a huge come up. If you think about it, everybody just where Apple was. But when Apple dropped their first smartphone, it pretty much destroyed the market. So that was pretty much the only phone that was sold at the time. Everybody wanted that. And then when people realized, hey, everybody's getting that, well, then maybe it's time for everybody else to hop on the kill train.
You know what? I can't disagree with you. I think that is by far the case. I mean, everyone that I know, or most people that I know that are adults, have an iPhone. There's a very few amount of people that have Android. or like for example, when you go walking around, or you go to a Best Buy or the mall or somewhere like that, you always see iPhones walking around. That's the main phone that you see walking around, and that's because Apple has created a reputation for itself. At times, it may not be good, but they've created a reputation mainly good for themselves, and that's why people, I think, or that's part of the reason why people go to their products. Quite frankly, there are better designed phones than the iPhone, but people go back to the iPhone because it's Apple. I think that's a big thing because they rose up their reputation to do this, or to bring out these products, and to be as successful as they are today.
Man, I just wish that everybody could have that awesome smartphone, but then there's always going to be critics because it makes it even more funny to think about it because all OEMs, they're perfect now. All we can do is rant about the most idiotic features like, okay, the microphone jack is on the bottom of the phone instead of the top.
Yeah.
Those are huge arguments now. Those get entire newspapers and stuff. It used to be back in the day, well, Apple has this, that, the third. Well, Samsung has this, that. No. We're arguing about microphone replacement, headphone replacement.
Yep.
Both OEMs are doing so well, but the thing is, the reason why Apple just has so much more popularity because Apple loves to wait. And that's the thing that people love because humans are curious. So that's kind of like their resort. So they want to sit and they'll wait and they'll wait and they'll wait for the next product. And Apple's starting to listen to what the people have to say because they already did good in the past, but you know, people have gotten used to that. So Apple just found another way to give people drive and motive. So they make them wait for all the new products to come out and all that. And then when it happens, it happens and it just dominates the market.
Yep, I can't disagree. I mean, I can't disagree at all, actually. Moving on, we're going to be talking about the iPhone 6s pre-orders, right? But I know this might be crazy, but I have a specific topic today that's out of the iPhone. It's talking about the iPhone still, but it's a different topic that I want to talk about. I kind of want to talk about it first. The rose gold iPhone. This, I think, needs a specific topic today. Like, where we have the iPhone 6s, the Samsung Pay, that kind of stuff. This is its own topic today. The rose gold iPhone 6s, 6s Plus. I have my opinions on it. I'll say them right after you say yours. But what do you think of the rose gold iPhone?
It looks good, but it's pink at times. I wish it was a solid color.
Yep.
Like, I wish it wasn't like a metallic color where it would change colors. I want my solid rose gold instead of a champagne and then like a manly color and then at times it's a really girlish color, but it's okay. I don't honestly care for it. It's just still the design of an iPhone. It doesn't change any of the hardware inside.
You know what? I completely agree. The rose gold, I look at least the Apple Watch. I'm assuming the iPhone's the same, so I'll have to check out that in the near future. But quite frankly, it looks okay. But you can definitely tell that it's like a fancy word for pink, in my personal opinion. And I've seen it. Depends on the lighting situation, as always. But quite frankly, I think it looks great, depending on the situation, the lighting situation. I think that's a very big thing, a very important thing. Now, the rose gold iPhone, if you didn't know this, the rose gold iPhone takes up, they brought it out right after this. This is why I want to talk about the rose gold iPhones first. The rose gold iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, all variations, took up 40% of Apple's colors that they sold. 40% of their iPhones sold.
Right.
So, think of that. Almost over 1/3 of the 4 colors, the space gray, silver, black, gold, and rose gold, 40% was the rose gold. So, not only are we going to be seeing more people with a rose gold iPhone than we are with other phones like silver or space gray or even the other gold option, but people are going to comment on how bad it is. And that's something I've seen a few times. People are saying that they didn't innovate, which I can't disagree, but the rose gold iPhone, I think it's pretty cool, but There's no reason for it.
True.
And that's my overall opinion on it. Now,
Yeah.
do you have anything else to say before we head over to the iPhone 6s sales?
No, you took all the words out of my mouth.
So the iPhone 6s, we're going to move on now. The iPhone 6s and 6s Plus sales have been pretty awesome, actually. I'll be honest with you. This is, again, they broke another record. They sold over 14 million iPhones compared to the 10 million that they sold the previous year, 10 or 11 million. Again, 40% was the rose gold iPhone color variation. Most iPhones were 64 gigs because obviously Apple is so stupid and decided that they were going to release a 16 gig iPhone again. We got to create a whole story for that. But at the 25 in 2 minutes, we're going to pause our stream. I'm going to stop the Periscope broadcast. So thank you guys for watching because we're not getting a success on that. Thank you so much to those that are on podcast on the Periscope podcast. Again, be sure to follow us on Twitter at techlifetodayco. Be sure to head over to techlifetodayco.com for more tech news just like this. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/techlifetodayco. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.
Alright, guys.
Alright, so with the... Alright, now we're only doing exclusive to YouTube now. But in a few minutes, we're going to take our break, obviously, our halfway show break, as we've been doing for the past few episodes. We are currently 20 minutes into the stream. It looks as if we are. So, with that being said, I feel like I have to talk about this. Why is it that every iPhone is getting more and more popular, even though it's pretty much the same phone? Why do you think... This is something that doesn't make sense to me completely. Why is it the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus sold 4 million more iPhones than the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus did?
Huh?
Why... I have my personal opinion on it, but why do you think that the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus sold almost 4 million more than the iPhone 6 Plus did on launch day?
Because people were just waiting for the price drop.
Yeah.
Because
Now,
they're still really good phones. The only things you don't have is 4K and Force Touch.
actually, you do know the back camera for... Oh, yeah. Duh. But, the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus sales were 4 million more than the iPhone 6 Plus on launch day. So the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus alone sold 14 million, compared to the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus on launch day, which sold about 10 or 11 million.
Just weird.
Alright, guys, so we're going to head over to our halfway break. We're going to be taking our 2-minute break, so we're going to pause this for a few minutes. And up next, we're going to be talking about Samsung Pay, as well as the, let me think, what else? Galaxy S7 and some other things. So, again, be sure to head over to techlifetodayco.com. We will be back in 2 minutes, so we'll get right into it. Let me just pause the stream real quick before I do anything. Let me just make it to where I can actually stop filming. turn on. Alright, we are back on the stream. Alright, so it looks good. I think we're back in the stream, guys. I'm gonna go over the next 18 seconds, because we're a little behind right now with the stream, or it freezes up a little bit. So we're gonna see real quick to make sure everything's good at the 10-second mark. So, you still there, Gio?
Yeah.
Alright, so let me just make sure everything's good. About to turn on. Alright. It looks like we are good. It looks like we're live, guys. So, let's make sure. Alright, we are live back on the stream. We are currently 27 minutes into the stream, so we have about another... How long do you want to do this for? Like another 13 minutes?
We gotta cut it short because I gotta get ready to go somewhere. So maybe 5-10 minutes.
Alright, 5-10 minutes, that works. You can leave in 8 minutes or so. Whenever you have to leave, you just let me know, and you can leave. I'll just continue talking for like the next few minutes, and I'll head out. But now we're going to talk about the Samsung Galaxy S6 or S7. So the S7 is rumored to have an 820 processor, Snapdragon, or Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 processor with 4 gigs of RAM, which is the same as the Note 5. It's going to have a 21 megapixel rear camera. It's a rumored 8 megapixel front-facing camera, improved fingerprint scanner, and all metal design. That's something I'm very excited for. An all metal design. What do you think of that?
I want micro USB expansion bags.
Yeah, micro SD card. Yep, I want that. I want that back. Here's what they need to do for me to go and get the Samsung phone, or get the Samsung phone when my contract is done. They need to add micro SD card expansion. They also need to. My perspective, I like metal, so I'd want an all metal design because the glass on the back will likely crack eventually. So that's something I would want and need in the next smartwatch. And then
give us that Xperia Z2 glass. Remember that? That junk would never breathe.
Yeah, I can't disagree there. Yeah, that's so true.
On the Xperia Z2, that like they would drop it. I mean, the screen, the underneath part, digitize it, that broke.
Yep.
But the glass itself, that was like some bulletproof stuff. It did not break.
Yep, they definitely need to work with the company to do that.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, I mean, that was pretty much it. I mean, real speaking, that was all that was rumored. That's currently rumored for the Samsung Galaxy S7. I mean, it's gonna have 4 gigs of RAM, the 820 processor, the 21 megapixel rear camera, the 8 megapixel front-facing camera. It's rumored to have an LED flash on the front, like the Moto X style. Don't know how legit that is. Maybe, I don't really know. Again, all metal design, which I kind of really want. And again, as always, a toned-down version of TouchWiz. It's nice. It's going to ship with Android 6.0 Marshmallow. So, the very last thing that I'm going to talk about today is Samsung Pay. Now, I don't think I'm allowed to play the video to show you guys Samsung Pay. I really want to, but I don't think I'm allowed to through copyright. So, let me see if I can play it.
Just make source it properly.
Yeah, I'll have to source it or something. But I don't want it playing, so I'm gonna pause it or something. Pause. Alright, let's see if it shows an image of it. Alright, there is a glimpse of Samsung Pay. I'm not allowed to show you the whole thing, because frankly, I'm not going to take the time to source it. But the Samsung Pay, I think that's really cool. Gio, have you seen the ad of Samsung Pay?
No, I have not.
Alright, quite frankly, I like it a lot. Not because it's Samsung Pay, although you and I both agree that we love Samsung Pay. Because it's so universal, it works on all or most credit card terminals that you go anywhere, where Apple Pay doesn't work. And that was a pretty big part of the commercial, where they were talking about all you want is Samsung Pay, that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. And they were, at the end of that, they were talking about, or they showed it in the commercial, the iPhone 6 S, and they were scanning it against the terminal, and it wouldn't work. And the guy in the front was like, absolutely not, we don't accept Samsung Pay. I think that was pretty hilarious. But let me see if I can I'm not gonna play it, but I'm gonna play it on my other phone that I have. See if it, so I don't show you the image of it. Let's see if I can do something. I'm going on my Moto X, thing I don't use. Alright, let's see if it, oh, there we go, let's see if it can load. Alright, so I'll tell you guys what's going on. Alright, they're scanning the terminals right now when they're buying things like coffee, that kind of stuff. And then they scanned an iPhone, they just scanned an iPhone and didn't work, and the guy was like, absolutely, we don't accept that. It's pretty hilarious. They were like, nope, we don't accept that. And then after that, they showed the phone. I gotta say, I'm very impressed with what Samsung is doing with their line. I think it's very impressive of what they're trying to do. I'm a big fan of Samsung Pay. I've been a fan of it ever since they released it. I want to test it out one day.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I would definitely want to check it out. Now, one thing, this is where we're going to end it. We're going to take any questions you would have generally if we would have a live stream, but right now we don't. So, that being said, we're going to start wrapping it up. We're about 33 minutes in to the stream. So, that being said, guys, let us know if you have any questions down below. We're going to ask you a few questions today. Alright, we're going to ask you a few questions to make sure everything's good. First question that we're going to be asking you is, what device would you want us to buy? Because there's like the Apple Watch, there's some other smartphones out there, some tablets, that kind of stuff. What do you want us to get? I'm considering to get the Apple Watch to review. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I kind of want to happen, but it's really expensive. I mean, if I wanted to get the Apple Watch, I'd probably get the $500 model. That'd be me. So it'll take up a lot of time, but that would be how it would be. Looks like we're about 34 minutes into the stream, so we're gonna start ending it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to head over to techlifetodayco for more tech news just like this. Let me just see if I can show you the YouTube channel real quick. I don't know if I can.
Huh? What were you saying, the show?
Sorry.
What were you gonna say, the show?
Oh, I just asked him what device do you want us to get to review, because we're getting the money from YouTube, not getting a lot. So I'm thinking about getting the Apple Watch. So, yeah, real quickly,
why don't we try to save up and get the iPad Pro? Get that and bring that into the office and have a review on that.
It's not a bad idea, actually. I'm thinking of it. That wouldn't be a bad idea at all.
Or we can just wait until October comes around and get the new Hero that's supposed to be dropping this year.
Yeah, there's multiple things we could do. I kind of want to get the. I personally, I'd probably debate between the Apple Watch and the iPad Pro. I think that'd be the two things I would want to look into. Yeah, if we get the Apple Watch, then I'd probably be disappointed for the rest of my life because how expensive it is. But the iPad Pro, I think that'd be a very interesting idea. We'd probably get that in by April. So that wouldn't be a terrible idea. Here's our channel. Be sure to head over to techlifetodayco.com. Again, as always, be sure to head over to youtube.com/techlifetodayco for more videos that we do every day. Let's end it now because that's where I think this is a fair time to end it. We're about 37 minutes in almost. So I think it's a fair time to end the stream. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out the iOS 9 slide to upgrade fix video. We already have almost 700 or 600 views on it, so that's pretty awesome. But I think that's going to be about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please sure to like, comment, subscribe. Anything else to say, Gio, before we head out of here today?
Nope.
All right. So we're going to head out, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And we hope to see you in the next Tech Life Today weekly podcast number 12.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Peace.